Good afternoon, everybody. We're back again. We're taking our hand at another bit of an improvised recipe this time. Since I had to get rid of some eggs, I have a few chickens in the backyard that produce up to 3 eggs a day. But since I had to get rid of some eggs, I thought, why not today make some chocolate pudding? And what I'm going to make is gonna be a dairy-free version. So this is something that goes indeed for that small percentage of people that truly are lactose intolerant, and even for the ones who like to pretend they are because, well, somehow it's a trend. So what are we going to be using as our main source of dairy? I will be substituting this for coconut cream. What I'm also going to try is make the recipe as diet friendly as possible as it can for a chocolate pudding. That is to say, we will be using proper chocolate, but I'm going to be sweetening with a little bit, as little as I can get away with, some stevia. And what we will be needing for ingredients, well, it's pretty basic. We will be needing, as I said, some coconut cream, some good dark chocolate, this is indeed homemade vanilla extract, a few egg yolks, and for some extra chocolate flavor, I have some cocoa powder, and of course, as a binding agent, a bit of cornstarch. Now, let's get cooking. What we will be doing is, as you see, I've already put my coconut milk on the heat, and in the meantime, I will be dissolving in about 1/2 liter, 500 milliliters of coconut milk. I will be melting down my chocolate. And I'm also going to add, for some more intense flavor, about a good big tablespoon of cocoa powder. This will intensify our flavor. In the meanwhile, what we will also be doing is I'll be adding 1 huge tablespoon of cornstarch to a bit of liquid that I left over. So this will create our first binding agent. We will now let this chocolate melt down, and after that we can add our binding. So now that we've basically dissolved our chocolate into what is, in a sense, a very rich and thick chocolate milk, we will be adding our cornstarch. So we've dissolved this into the remainder of our coconut cream, and we will again be heating this up very gently. Voila, on a gentle heat, and this will be our first binding agent. So we want now this to be pretty warm so we can basically then add our eggs. So next thing, or next call of business, will be to separate 4 egg yolks, and we will be then tempering our eggs. Our liquid is basically warm. I'm just gonna put the heat a little lower. I just want to season this in the meantime with just a tiny pinch of salt. I have already added about 4 grams of stevia. If you would want to do this with sugar, you should take about 10 times that amount, so that would mean 40 grams of sugar. And I will be adding some homemade vanilla extract. Now this is nothing more, very simple, something to do at home. There we go. Then a few used up vanilla beans that I have soaked in some vodka. Very easy project to do at home. And now that we have our hot liquid, the trick is we want to first of all temper our eggs. Meaning, just going to kill the heat for a second. We have here 4 separated egg yolks, to which we will add some of our hot liquid. We're going to whisk this around so that we have a clear and clean emulsion. And now we will add this as well as we can to our pan. put the heat back on very gently. Now the trick with any custard or cream you are making is you want to come as close to the boiling point as you can without really going into a rolling boil. Otherwise we will again risk to have separated eggs, so scrambled eggs with chocolate milk, which is not the meaning. We want to have a cream. Now I'm going to try and rinse this out with just a tiny bit of the leftover, there we go, coconut cream, just to let nothing go to waste. There we go. And we want to be bringing this again close to boiling as we can without actually boiling. You will start to see, as soon as you hit the right spot, the liquid will start to thicken up, and that's basically the point where you want to put this thing to rest. I can see that I'm getting close to the point where I want to be. So you can see that if I'm making streaks through the liquid, they nearly stay in place. The cream is literally getting creamier at the moment. The trick is, especially at this point, very important to keep the liquid moving. So as you see, it is really thickening up as we are working it. But if we don't keep it moving, some of the stuff will burn to the bottom. There we go, we are really nearly done. But again, if I whip this up, you can see it's becoming very, very creamy, custardy. And just before, as I said, we reach the true boiling point, we want to cut the heat, just leave it relax. But I think that's about done. Nearly there. It's again just thickening up, and just before I get to true boiling, I'm just going to give it a little while longer. We will cut off the heat, let it relax, and then we can distribute this into a few bowls. So here we have the point where we're basically done. Our cream, again, it's nicely thickened. I've cut the heat, but you can see as I make streaks, they don't really go away anymore. And this is about the point where we want to come to. I'm just going to let this sit and relax for just a few minutes, after which I'm going to distribute this into bowls, and you'll see as it cools down it's going to thicken up further and it's going to become a lovely voluptuous cream. So this is our end result, a nice voluptuous chocolate cream. The coconut and vanilla are not that present, but that doesn't matter. It is of course a chocolate cream. You could just decorate this with even some whipped cream or some powdered sugar, but I'm not going to do nothing fancy. Just eat as is and enjoy.